We're starting today's video out with me being a stuttering mess. So I am really excited for this video because I pulled out 25 palettes in my collection and I'm excited to show them to you. So last year I did a video talking about 25 of the most unforgettable palettes in my collection, and at the time I did it on mostly older palettes, things that I've had in my collection for years that I found myself like wanting to use on or off camera, and things I just still got excited for, things I still get excited for. But I decided, why not do a round two? There were so many good releases last year. There's been a few good releases already this year. I'm excited to share with you some of my favorites. There are some good palettes in here. And not only am I going to be sharing, but we're also going to be swatching. So buckle up, get ready, because I'm about to get started. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Heather, and this video honestly is a really good place to start because you're going to see my excitement for eyeshadow. I love makeup so much, but eyeshadow is my favorite step in a routine. I get so lost in it, but I love all things colorful makeup. All makeup, indie brands are my top favorite, and I hope that if you love those things too, you will subscribe. And if you do, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. I do have some really fun stuff planned, even though the releases are kind of like, right now, they're like kind of dull. So before we get started, if you are curious about what is on my face, what is on my eyes anyway, it is the new release from DD Signature. I did get this in PR. It is the Chromebook Volume 2, and I've had so much fun with it. I don't know which video will be up first, but if it is up, I will pop up the thumbnail on the screen so it's easier for you guys to find. But I've had so much fun with this, and I'm super excited for you guys to see the looks. As for my very bright, bold lip, it is from Singe Beauty. It's in the shade Tiaz. This is one of my favorite combos in my collection. I don't get to wear it nearly enough, but it goes so well with the blush I have on today, which is actually a combo. It is the Denisemarix Yummy Skin Blush in the shade Bellini. It's so delicious, you guys. This is my favorite blush formula. I've bought 6 of them now. I just love them so much. But I did a little topper situation with the Melt Cosmetics Cream Blush Light in the shade Golden Hour, and I think it turned out so beautiful. I also might as well tell you the highlight situation. It is the new highlighter from NYX. This one is in the shade Butter Than Gold. So I bought this one. I bought the purple one and the mint one. So now I have used them all at least once, and so far I really do like them a lot. But you're gonna have to give me a little time to give you my full thoughts on those. I'm thinking about starting like some type of speed reviews or something, so I can let you guys know more like what I think about the stuff that I'm bringing into my collection. But now I'm gonna stop yapping about whatever, and we're gonna talk about the palettes. So there are multiple palettes in here from some brands, and I want to start with one of my favorites, Artitude Cosmetics. So I like put all my palettes away from my February ranking. If you haven't seen that, you should totally check it out. I'll pop that thumbnail up as well. I'm losing my train of thought already. I get so excited when I talk about eyeshadow palettes, but I put up all my palettes and I was going through my collection trying to pull the first thing that came to my mind. I also have my list from the last video I did like this. That's how I keep up with like what I use in each video, but that's all besides the point. Anyways, I went through that list and made sure I didn't bring out any others that I've talked about before, because I still am so in love with a lot of those palettes that I mentioned in the first video. And if you want to watch that one, I'll link it down below in the description box. But Anyways, I went through my collection and was pulling things out, things that just still make me so freaking excited. And when I got to my Artitude shelf, I was like, oh my god, I can't pick one. I love this brand so freaking much. They are one of my absolute favorites of all time. I think they're so amazing. And they're restocking the Maneater palette, and I'm so excited. I've been wanting to get my hands on that one for so long, and I'm so excited. There's no details on the restock yet, but I'm excited to show you guys these. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's really rare for me to come across a brand that has many releases and I end up loving every single release. Like, that's hard to do. There's just so many brands, and I feel like we have so much to choose from, but this is a brand that just blows me away with every single release. So the first palette I got from Artitude Cosmetics was the METAMORPH, and I didn't have really high expectations. I didn't know what to expect, but oh my god, you guys, this palette is so amazing. And I've heard some reviews on it where people have said they really love the formula, but they didn't like the color story. And I love the formula and I love the color story. So there was a dud in the palette. It was this shade, but they sent the shade, and even though this wasn't magnetic, honestly, it was really easy to pop it out. I just used a nail file and changed it. I don't know if they're still sending out those same palettes or not, but I had no issues with the formula or anything whatsoever, but I had so much fun. And you guys know I use the highlighter that released with this in the shade Flotation. I use all the time. It's so freaking good. But as much as I love the mattes, the standout for me are these gorgeous freaking shimmers. I have 5 palettes from them now, and I do want to do a bingo soon. And I cannot wait. But let me show you how delicious those are. But my favorite thing about this palette is the color story is more chaotic. But I like that because I do love two-tone looks in different ways. Sometimes I like putting a different color in the inner corner than what I put on the outer corner. Sometimes I like to do the same matte throughout the crease and put like an opposite shimmer on the lid. I feel like those types of looks just really pop. They're really exciting for me. Oh, this shade Renew is such a good highlighter. It actually reminds me of the shade Cohesion that they have in the highlighting formula. Like, the formula of this feels like that. And it does have that green flip, but it has like more of a pink base. It's so wet looking on the lid. And then there we have the shade Cocoon. This is just one of those brands for me. I look forward to all of their releases. They always leave me excited for the next thing. But I just love them. I could not recommend them more. This palette really blew my mind. And because of my love for it, I bought every single palette they have released after. Now, this one is one of their older palettes. And I haven't gotten to use it a lot. I've only used a few shades out of it. Mostly the shimmers. But come on. So this is the Obsession. It was my next one I picked up. This color story is so freaking delicious. I cannot wait to put this on my eyes. It's so stunning. The way I'm so excited to get that Maneater palette, though. I've been wanting that for so long, and that's probably going to end up being my favorite color story from them. And a lot of people must love that palette because you cannot find it anywhere, not on Mercari, Etsy, or anything. Do you see that bottom shade? It just like, that was one swatch. All of them are. It just like keeps going and going. And you see that like strong blue shift. Oh, it's so freaking good. It makes me so excited. Even at 10 o'clock at night. I am not a morning or a night person. When I'm tired, just leave me alone. You know, if you're like that, let me know down below in the comments. They're just so beautiful. Do you see the third shade down? It's so stunning and unique. I've never seen anything like it. I love how deep and dark it is, but it has that gorgeous shift It's just such a stunning color story. I cannot wait to create some more looks with this one. And the artwork. I love all of their artwork. So next were these two palettes. So I love both of these so very much, but my favorite out of the two is definitely the Vintage Neutrals. I love the artwork on it as well. I love those tones. I think they're so stunning, but I loved the looks that I created with this one. I had so much fun. This shade is so stunning. It's actually very similar to a shade in the Chromebook. I was talking about that earlier today. It's the shade Fierce that's up here at the top. Looks like this, but let's do a little comparison. They are what looks to be exact. This one has more of a pink base. Actually, it could be where it's like on the curve of my hand. So let's do it like that. The one from DD Signature has more of a strong base, but they are absolutely exactly the same. I love finding shades like that. That's like dead on. But this color story to me is everything. I've had so much fun with this one. It's such a fun palette. Like I said, I loved the looks that I created. This is going to be really fun for summer looks, fall looks. They're just, those ones are, and they are so freaking gorgeous. I just love them. This is just another one of those brands that just makes me feel so excited to play with their stuff. I truly cannot say enough good things. Obviously, because I keep saying but like I said, it's 10 o'clock at night, guys. And truly though, I can't say enough good things about them. This is another really good one. You guys know I love cool tones so much. They are so fun for me. This shade right here, City, is so freaking good. It makes me so excited, but the shade Penthouse is as well. They're so gorgeous. This formula is so smooth. Like, come on. Try to get it a little closer. That bottom shade, it's also a holochrome, which I don't know about you, but that makes me love it even freaking more. And then here are the last three shades. Now this pink shade, I see it in a lot of palettes. I'll show you. It's the one in the center. That one right there. It's in the Amy Loves palette as well, which I also have in this stack because that was one of my favorite releases from last year. It's just so stunning. Now, my newest favorite from Artitude Cosmetics is this one. So, I haven't had this one very long. It's actually in my February ranking. But hear me out. I already know. I know myself and I know this formula. And I've been so in love with every single look. I just love this. I love the overall vibe, the artwork, the ink and roses. I just think it's so stunning and it's such a fun play on a Valentine's Day palette. It's so good. That shade's similar to the other one in the Urban Neutrals. In this silver, like, come on. I almost double swatched on a finger. I'm losing my mind, guys. Look at that silver on the top. It is so freaking stunning. Oh, and there's two more. But one thing I've learned about myself recently is how much I love gray, like all throughout the crease with other colors, like green used to like define the crease, or using a shade like this with it. It was like that for me with the Bitten palette, which actually should be in this stack. I'll add it in a minute. But I just love gray with different tones, different pops of color. I did a green and gray look with the mint in the inner corner. Highly recommend you guys check out that video. I love those looks so freaking much. But look at that shade. I just think they're so wonderful, and it makes me so excited when I fall in love with something and I get to watch you guys fall in love with it too. It really makes my whole day. It's so fun. Okay, so now let's move on to a palette that's probably one of the most high impact sparkly palettes in my collection, and I swear I never expected it. And it's the Lethal Dexter palette. Oh my god. So I am familiar with the Dexter show. And while I think the packaging goes so well with the theme, it's actually perfect. I truly despise this packaging when it comes to storing it. But please keep in mind, I don't even like red eyeshadow. But this palette is so freaking good that it's not that I don't like it, it's just not a favorite. But this palette is so good, it blows my freaking mind to the point where I actually love the reds. I love the reds with the grays. I just told you like how I love to combine those two colors. This is just a match made in heaven. It's also really easy to use because you can like stick to the sections and do a look that way. But you guys know I like to shake things up a little bit, and using the grays with the reds in the crease is so freaking delicious. But I have to show you these shimmer shades. There's a reason why this whole collection is on a pre-order, with the exception of a few nail polishes. I think 2 of them are still in stock from the original, like, collections. You know what I mean? I'm losing words and everything, but this is just one of those palettes I can't imagine ever forgetting that's in my collection. It truly just shocked me in the best way ever. That silver, like, look how sparkly these are. They are just so gorgeous. The reds, the shifts in them are so stunning as well. But, ooh, let me clean off my finger because I'm excited to show you this one. This one is so stunning too. It's the shade Deborah, which if you're not familiar with the show, that's his sister's name. And look at it. It reminds me of a shade that is in the Poison Garden from Bella Beauty Bar, and that one is in this collection as well because it is one of my top favorites too. But they are so stunning. So I actually only have one Bella Beauty Bar palette in this because almost all of them were in my last one. And like I said in the intro, I didn't really want to do any repeats, so I didn't put them in this one. But if you want to hear my thoughts on those and why I love them so much, just check out the first video. But this is so good. I just truly couldn't recommend it more. It's so fun. I love that we have dimension in here too. It goes from really light to really dark. And I do know you can get dimension with the white, but I like having the light and the dark because I want so much dimension and contrast that it blows your mind. I mean, I even have it in this look, and it's more of a wing situation than anything. I just love that. Okay, so this next one I want to talk about is the only palette this brand has released so far, but she just really came in here with the perfect packaging, the perfect artwork, the perfect formula, and it is the Galactic Visitor from Singe Beauty. Like, the details in the packaging, it's so freaking stunning. I love the space cowgirl theme. I think it's awesome with the desert in the background. It's so stunning. But this color story is freaking phenomenal. It's kind of like a play off of her collab with Kaleidos. What is it called? Where is that palette? Oh, I was having a panic attack. The Club Nebula. Ooh, I was drawing a blank, but then I was like, where's the palette? And I was like, oh my god, did I accidentally declutter that? That's one of the only palettes in my collection that I have pan in almost every shade. But these two together with that one is so freaking good. These shimmers are just so freaking good. And I'm excited because she has hinted that she is working on some other things as well. So I cannot wait to see what it is. But I'm just like, it's kind of hard to explain because I have been watching Angelica for years. Like, look how glossy and shiny those are. I just can't wait to see what else she decides to add to them. But as I was saying, I've been watching her for years and years. So it almost feels like I know her in a sense. And I truly do feel so proud of her. Like, she just did that. Honestly, though, I swear I expected nothing less. I know when she released a palette with Singe Beauty that it was going to be phenomenal. And in my opinion, she really just knocked this out of the park. I love that you get some of those like toppery shades. And these are one swatches. You can build these up to make them more opaque, like one swipe swatches. But they're stunning. This shade right here, Milky Way, is a hollow. I have black eyeshadow on my finger. Okay, so the shade on the bottom is called Milky Way, and it is a hollow chrome. It has like the most beautiful like glitter reflex in it. They are just so glossy and wet looking and delicious, and I love them. I love the looks that I created with this. One of them I did was like a neutral crease with the mint in the inner corner, and then I did this on the lid, and I loved it so much. I thought it was so beautiful. If you haven't seen that video, I hope you check it out, because I loved it. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and talk about the Poison Garden from Bella Beauty Bar, since I already mentioned it. So I feel the same way about this brand as I do Artitude Cosmetics. I just think they can do no wrong. Like, there's so very few palettes with them that I'm not like crazy in love with, and it's never because of formula. It's when it happens, it's because of the color story, but most of the time they do check every single box for me. This shade in this palette is one of my favorites. So this shade right here is Belladonna, and then we have Poison Hemlock. Belladonna is one of my favorite shades in my whole entire collection. Let me know if you guys would like a singles video, because I could do that as well. But they are so beautiful. You can really see like the glitter reflex in them. They're stunning. Wisteria is freaking insane. This is one of those toppery kind of shades, but is so like fluorescent and bright and beautiful and fun, especially in such a dark palette. I think that really adds like an extra twist to it. And those are my favorite types of things. I just love every single shade in this palette. I wouldn't change a single thing about it. I just think it's so dark and smoky and gorgeous and fun. This is one that I do pull out a lot for looks. I don't care what time of year it is technically. This was like a Halloween release, but I will wear this all year long. Ooh, this shade Wolfsbane is so good too. It's a hollow as well, and you can really see those like glitter particles in there. They're so freaking gorgeous. I hope they're picking up on camera. It's so hard for me. I try not to look when I'm like watching the monitor, but I just get so captivated by them. They just make me so excited. And again, it's the color story. It's so fun, and there's so many things you could do with a palette like this. You could follow the rows. You could do the quads. Like this quad together is so gorgeous, and just keep going. It's just so fun. I could not recommend this one more. Honestly, there's not a palette from Bella Beauty Bar that I don't recommend. I love so many of their releases. I don't like the bigger palettes, but I do like this one a lot. I loved Secret Garden as well. One of my favorites is recently de-influenced. I don't know, guys. They're just so freaking good. One of my favorites. This one is not that old to me. I've probably had it about 4 months now, if that, but it is the Nocturnal from Glaminatrix. I've been promising you guys a 4-look video for so long. I've even filmed it. I just haven't edited it because I know it's going to take forever, but this is so freaking beautiful. This color story is so stunning, so spectacular. It makes me so excited to pull this one out and create something fun and unique. These shades together, this quad is so stunning. This quad is stunning. Like, there's so much you can do with a palette like this. You can mix it all up. It's just such a good time. This is another one of those shades that's kind of like the one in the Chromebook 2 from DD Signature. And it's also in the, which one is it? The Vintage Neutrals, I think. I can't remember, from Artitude. That we swatched in the beginning of this video. These are just so stunning. And this is another brand I'm excited to see what else they release. Their shimmer formula is very high shine, impactful, but it's like so thin that it's a really fun formula to work with. It's not flaky or anything like that. I just think it's so beautiful. I do have a few palettes from them now, but this one is definitely my favorite. I have the Barely Basic as well, but I haven't used that one as much as I have this one. I just think it's so freaking gorgeous. This palette from Unearthly Cosmetics was so unexpected, but it is so freaking good. That's probably my new favorite, and I have like close to 30 palettes from Unearthly. They are one of my favorite brands. Another brand that I feel like I end up loving everything they do, but this is so good. So I know this is remastered, but I love that they made it a bigger color story. I love the undertones. I had so much fun with this. I love the looks I did. I love this pop of green. It's like so bright with this like muted dusty color story. It works so well. They have another like really good shimmer formula. It's very high shine, very, very silky smooth. And they are just so freaking beautiful. That shade down there just blows my freaking mind. That one's called Topaz. And then we have Taupe. Taupe is beautiful as well. It has like this sage green base with this like cool, like really cool tone, dusty mauvey purple. And it's so stunning. Ow. I said, ow, I have a catch in my hip and it hurts so bad when I move a certain way. I don't know what I did, but it's not fun. Especially because right now I've torn something in my knee again. So my knee is like all swollen and it's been swollen for a while. I'm probably going to have to go have surgery, but I've been putting it off because I have all these trips and I don't want to like be recovering from surgery during all of that. But it sucks. I'm not even going to lie. So, emotions. Now we're talking happy thoughts. This one is so beautiful. Do you see that? It's so bright and just, it takes my breath away. Charisma is really good as well. It's not even just about the shimmers. Their matte formula is so easy to work with, so easy to blend. It's pigmented, it layers, it's everything that I want a matte to be. And not to mention, the color story is so freaking perfect in my eyes. I love a I love a grungy color story. And then you add in the fact that it's muted and cool toned. Like, sign me up. I am so ready. This was my favorite launch from them during like fall, Christmas, and all of that stuff. So this was their Christmas launch. And I really like this one too, but the Not Normal is where it's at, but this is gorgeous. Those two together are gorgeous. They can do a red metallic like nobody else. The one in the high temp is so good too. This is the first palette I ever got in PR from them, and I was so excited. I'm still so excited. So I got this one in PR as well, the Just a Taste. And the next one we're going to talk about, but I picked up the Not Normal on my own, but these are so stunning. So that's the one from Just a Taste. It's like a little orange too. And then this is the one from the high temp. And that's like a blood red. It is so freaking stunning. There's so many good shades in this palette though. Like, we'll be here all year if I swatch every shimmer. And I have been doing that because I can't help myself. This one is pretty too. Mossy Grave. It's like an antique gold with like a green, sage green base. It's so pretty. I'm trying to get that green to pick up, but sometimes it's hard to do on camera. At this point, I don't even remember everything I've swatched, but there is a few more, and they're just so pretty. You guys are going to have to let me know if you have this one in your collection. If you have any of these in your collection, actually. I would love to hear your thoughts on them. Plus, it's good for other people to hear your thoughts as well, because it does help people decide, like, if they do want to pick something up, or if you don't want to pick anything up. I feel like Videos like these are also good to remind you what you already have in your collection, get you re-excited. I feel like that is really fun as well. So this one, the Gargoyle, I love this one. Again, with the cool tones, it makes me so happy. This shade is so freaking good, and this shade, I did like a gray smoky eye with a peach inner corner, and I used mostly this palette. It was so stunning. I had such a good time with this one as well. She's really just been doing the most with her releases, especially within the last year, but I have loved them for a long time. I can't imagine a world where I don't love them. They've been an absolute favorite for so long, and their shimmers are just so gorgeous. This palette is really pretty with the Not Normal as well. You could probably get some pretty looks mixing it with the High Temp too. Not the High Temp, although that one too, because it's like warm and cool tones. Those make some of the most fun looks. But what I meant to say was this one. It would do really good. Hold on, I'll go ahead and pull them both out. I was talking about the Just a Taste. Here, let's do a little side by side. Like, one might think, like, how? But I'm telling you, it's the things that surprise you the most, I feel like, that end up creating like the most gorgeous looks. Like one of these dusty purples in this palette, like this one with this blue and this green, I feel like would be so freaking gorgeous too. There's so much you can do, but let's do the Not Normal. Oh yeah, the Not Normal is really good. This one is the one that would go with it the best, especially with that bright green in this palette, and then you have the bright blue in this one. You could do like, ooh, if you did that green with in the crease, blend it out with that, mixing like the undertones would be really cool as well. And then putting like this shimmer on the lid with maybe even some of this, that would be so stunning. I just love mixing palettes like that. I feel like sometimes I create the most fun looks that way. This shade is so good. Oh, I just love those ugly colors. You know what I mean? The colors that look like grandma's couch back in the day. You know, the one with the wooden balls on the arms. I know at least 10 people that have had that couch. This mascara, the Bad Gal Bang from Benefit, smudges on me every time I put it on. But I try to use it when I'm like home and I don't plan on going anywhere so that I'm able to use it up. But it is really annoying. So moving on, next I want to talk about Adept Cosmetics. So I brought out two palettes, one being the Vivette or Vivette. I love this color story so freaking much. It is so fun, and again, the gray and the green is so beautiful together. The gray and the pink, the gray and the blue. I just so recommend doing that if you guys like cool tones as well. I think it's such a blast. But of course, the star of the show in this palette is definitely the shimmers. I love mattes, like I've said, but it's the shimmers that always draw me in. Look at that one. It's so pretty, guys. I love them. Those just swatch so freaking beautiful. I just think they're so amazing. So this shade right here, I can't even, I think it's pronounced Nyack, but I could be so off on that. I thought it had like thicker glitter in it or something, but I read on their site that they actually never put glitter in any of their shades. They don't ever do pressed glitters or anything like that, but that is like so reflective that I thought it might have been that, but I was wrong, and that makes me so excited. And last, we have this one. It's another one of those like more pink. This one's more like taupe though, but do you see how sparkly and just delicious it is. I love this color story, and honestly I didn't see anyone talk about it, so I assumed that it didn't do that well, but it sold out like really fast, so it must have. I think they restocked it since then, but I really love this one. I love a lot of the others as well, but I try to just pull out favorites. Some brands like Artitude Cosmetics, I couldn't help myself, but I tried to hold back because I wanted to keep it no more than 25 palettes. I actually put some back so that it could be 25 palettes, but now I'm realizing I brought out that the Bitten palette from Gourmande Girls. So, of course, I have to talk about the Amy Loves. I love this palette. I will tell you though, someone in my comments told me they had an issue with some patchiness with the deeper shade. I have not experienced that, but I still wanted you to be aware that someone else has, just to, you know, keep you informed. But I love this so freaking much. This is the palette, or one of the palettes. There was a few that released at the time when cool tones really weren't very popular, but this is one of the palettes that made me realize that I really love them. And when I went to Vegas for the Creators and Friends Christmas party, that was like a very... it was a moment that felt really important to me, and I felt like I wanted to look my best. And this palette in combination with Cold Moon from Inslee Rain is what I wore, because they're just, the formulas are so good that there was no way I wasn't gonna wear them. I love them so much. So I planned on doing a video like showing you guys what I packed and everything. It's too late now, I don't even remember. But I had to play like catch up when I got back, and I ended up not having time to do it. So I'm learning I need to stop promising videos because things happen. But the silvers in this palette, like, that's like a blue tone silver, and then we have full on silver, and then full on vibes. I don't have anywhere to put these. Like, Jesus, do you see that? It's so good. Adept has one of my top favorite shimmer formulas as well. I'm actually gonna double swatch that one. I think it was Vibes. Look, I already swatched that shade, and I could swatch again with it. That's how much, like, how pigmented those are. They're just so freaking stunning. This palette is so incredible. I think this shade up top is one of my favorites. It does have, like, a green flip to it as well. It's just so outstanding. I absolutely love this one. The Minka is a new palette from them, too, that I really love. But I really love the Cyborg Choir, the Flying Fiddles, the Minka... What is that one? Element 119? I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. But this one's new to me. I've not used it very many times, but the shimmers in this one are outstanding as well. And I love the matte selection. I wish there were more mattes, but I do love the mattes that they put in here. You could really create these types of looks like I have on now with like the winged out mattes, and then you just tap a shimmer over it. I think that's stunning. But 115, I was way off. This one is so freaking good too. It makes me so excited. I love the matte selection, and I also love that there are at least 5 mattes. I wish they would do 7 at least, but I'll take it, you know, because the shimmers are so good that I don't want them to take any of them away, but I do wish there were more mattes. This one's messy. This is my Cyborg Choir, because you can tell she is so loved. I love this palette. Honestly, I probably should have pulled this in. Now I want to swatch that one too. But then we have the Minka. I did get this one in PR, which is insane to be able to say, but it's so beautiful. Oh, it's like such a perfect, like, romantic, soft glam with a pop type of color story. Linda. I have to swatch it every time I open this palette. And if you see my video with this palette. You know how funny it is because I said Linda 752 times. Like, Amanda was like, if I hear you say Linda one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. It was hilarious. Now this one, I love the shimmers, but the mattes aren't my favorite because they don't layer in this palette. But the shimmers are so good that I could easily bring in some deeper mattes to get the dimension that I like in a look. But if you don't like the dimension that I like in a look, then you wouldn't have that situation. I hesitate to say problem because it's not really a problem. At least, I don't think so. I guess it depends on who's saying it, but these are so good. So this one is the SAMARIAN Sunset. There's so many good shades in that one as well. And then I already showed you that one. Oh, and this one, Unity. This is like one of their more affordable palettes. These shimmers are really, really beautiful, really metallic, very high shine, but they're not like hollows, multi-chromes, and it does make the palette more affordable. So if you aren't able to swing their typical pricing, you might be able to swing that one. I totally get it. There was a time, not very long ago, that if you would have told me I spent however many dollars these are, like depending on the palette, anywhere from like 60 to 90, I would have laughed in your face because there's no freaking way. Like, I would have never been able to do that. So I truly get it. But if you are in the market, they're so good. I don't know, guys. I think this one is my favorite. So I kind of take back what I said. I really do love the Amy Loves palette. And I really love the Vivette or Vivette. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But it's this one. The Cyborg Choir. It's so good. The mattes down here are so good. But you know what? This might be the one I take with me to Florida. To the other Creators and Friends trip. Listen, it's in a month. I'm so nervous. I'm so excited because there's so many people that I follow on YouTube or I'm subscribed to that I've heard mention they're going on that trip. Like Linda from Glitter Fallout. I mean, there's been several. I love Linda. She's the reason I actually bought my vlog camera. But I am so excited that I get to meet all of them. But I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And I hope that I have a habit of like clamming up when I'm nervous, and I really hope that I don't do that because that would suck. And I have like really bad imposter syndrome, but I'm so excited. It's such a dream come true to even be like invited to that event, and I'm so excited that I get to hang out with Angelica and Linda and like so many other people. I even think Karen Harris is going. I could be wrong, but I think I vaguely remember her mentioning it as well. I'm just excited. I cannot wait. It's going to be such a blast. I didn't even tell you what those swatches were from, but they're from this one. And of course, the Heather Austin palette would be so cool if she came too. But this palette is one of their best as well. She really did such a good job on this. I love the matte selection with the shimmers. There's so many different looks, so many different directions that you could take this. You could do like a full-on smoky crease. You could do like one shade or two shades and add one of these shimmers on the lid. You could do the most with it, which is, you know, is what I like. I think this one is good as well. This was not meant to be an Adept swatch party. Maybe we should do an Adept ranking. I do have enough now, I think. I like to have at least 10. We have 9. I could probably do that if you guys are interested in seeing an Adept ranking. Let me know. But I love them. So this brand was hard too because I didn't, again, want to go over 25. So I picked my top 3 palettes, but it is Gourmande Girls. Now listen, I know a lot of people say I'm biased because I'm friends with the owner of this brand. And I understand where they come from, and I can see like how a person could be biased, but I am friends with the owner of this brand. Actually, she's the person that invited me to the Vegas Creators and Friends trip, and we got to hang out for several days. I do plan on going to her house this spring and everything. She is what I consider a close friend, but biasness is not in this equation, because if I don't like something, I'm going to tell you. It might make me uncomfortable, and I may hate every second of it, but I promise I will tell you. And I love Gourmande Girls, especially these 3 palettes. So this is one of her newest ones. This was her Valentine's Day launch. I do have looks up with this one, and these 2 I did get in PR. This one is the one that made me lose my mind over this brand, and I did buy it myself. But I love the Bitten palette. Again, I told you guys earlier about the grays and the reds and the berries. The looks I created with this were so freaking good. I love it so much. She's really like doing a lot with her shimmer shades, playing around with like different textures, different ways to make the formula. Like this palette, Frozen Kiss, has this shade here called Snow Globe, and it's like marbled and just so freaking beautiful. One of the best holochromes I've ever used is in this palette as well. We'll get to that. But she kind of did like that marbled thing with this one as well. Wait until you see her next launch. She has sneak peeked the cover. It's Siren, oh, I can't remember. Siren something. You Are Not Prepared. That is one of the best color stories she's ever done. When she showed it to me, I lost my freaking mind. But this one is really good. Honestly, I don't even know like if I could choose between these palettes. We need a Gourmande Girls palette ranking, because I do have a ton from her. She did send me a bunch in like a big PR package, because she's so freaking sweet. But I do have a lot from her, so I could totally do a ranking. But look how beautiful that top shade is. It's so gorgeous. We have one more shade. There's never enough fingers for swatches. And it's the shade Bitten. You guys know I love a dark metallic to help create the smokiness in the outer corner. I do like to add a deep shade to my outer corner, as in the mattes. And then I feel like a like really deep shimmer like this really helps you like mesh the shimmers into the mattes. But I love this one. These 3 would be hard to choose from, because I know I would choose these 2 over the Bitten, but I do love the Bitten as well. But if I had to pick, it would be either the Frozen Kiss or the Peach Perfect. And I don't know what I would choose, because Peach Perfect is one of those palettes that really just blew my freaking mind, and I do pull this one out. It's probably one of the most used palettes in my collection, to be honest. This color story blows my mind. I love this so much. She really... This palette did not get nowhere near enough love. I literally begged her to restock this, and she did, which makes me so happy. But I begged her. She knows, though, I'm just so in love with this palette. I love it so much. I love that you have like, it's like a, what's the word they call it? I don't ever use them. Like transition shade. I could not remember for the life of me. It's like that, but it has like this very slight peach undertone. But that shimmer right there, Fuzzball, that green, it has the most gorgeous micro peach glitters in it. It's one of the most beautiful shades I've ever seen. And I created probably what I would call my favorite look of all time with this palette as well. I also created one of my favorite reels I ever created in that look. This one just blew me away. And more than anything, like, I love the shimmers, 100% love the shimmers, but it's the color story. The color story gets me. And Gourmande Girls has one of the easiest formulas to work with. One of the easiest matte formulas to blend. It's really pigmented. They layer. It's such a great formula. Highly recommend. But Frozen Kiss is very good too. I have to swatch that hollow. Oh, and there's the other one, Ice Crystals. I love that one too. It's kind of minty. I also love that she added these two bright pops in here. And I love these two shades. I feel like it makes it to where you can take this palette and create a look that goes in so many different directions. This is one of those palettes you could get like at least 20 different looks out of. It's so good. This is another one that I took with me to Vegas as well. There's that hollow. I want to make this fully, like full on thick, so you guys can really see the glitter in them, in it, the hollow glitters. It's so stunning. I hope it's picking up on camera. Do not look at my nails. They're so bad. Don't look. I told you not to. They're just so pretty. I love them. I need more wipes. This is the one thing. I need to bring like a towel up here when I do swatches. You guys should see my clothes. I am so covered. I don't know. I really love this look way more than I thought I was going to. Side note. And now we'll do Ice Crystals and Snow Globe. Ice Crystals is so pretty. It's like this gorgeous pale yellow with these really beautiful like minty glitter reflex in it. It's so stunning. And then we'll do Dewdrops, and then we have one more, which is Blue Star, which is this really gorgeous like blue metallic. Dewdrops is a really pretty hollow as well. Like, she really packed the fun shades in here, and let me just say, like, she really cares about her price point. And I know this palette was really expensive for her to make because there's a ton of special shades in here. Like, almost all of them are special shades. But she still, like, did not raise her price. And she truly cares about her customers a lot. And I've seen, like, the back end of things and, like, I've heard her talk about things like that. And I just think she deserves a little extra love. Oh, it's that top shade though, isn't it? Ugh. But she's just a sweet person, and she really does care about her people. And I just wanted to mention it. We're down though. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 palettes left. And while I was taking a break a minute ago, Glamlite started showing the rest of the Twilight collection or other pieces for it, and I'm so excited, guys. It's going to be so good. You better set your alarms for that one if you plan on picking it up, because you know that's going to sell out so fast. Harvest of Souls from Fantasy Cosmetica was one of my favorite releases from last year. I love this color story with my whole heart. The looks that I created, I was so proud of them. I just think this one is so beautiful. These together are so stunning. Or even like these 5 together. You could do the quads with this one as well. But even if you do this as a quad, then the center as a quad, and just keep doing that, even this way, you can create such fun, like, exciting looks. Another thing, I used to do like makeup bingos even before I started filming, and sometimes I would like say forget it and just do my makeup because I was so intimidated by the color story that I would get. And I've learned to push through and just follow through. And a lot of times you end up being so in love with what you created. It's such a fun way to learn how to do different things. It's so exciting for me. I haven't done a bingo in a minute. I miss them. But this is a brand that has a really good formula as well. Not just the shimmers, but also the mattes too. They are just so stunning. Oh, and let me show you the shade Obsession. It's a good name for it. I love that they put that bright green shade Poison in here. It's so, I keep saying delicious, but it's just, oh, it makes me so excited. You guys probably think I'm psychotic at this point. I promise I'm not. At least I don't think so. But I'm not in control of the things that come out of my mouth when I'm talking about eyeshadow. I literally just lose it. This shade Souls is so gorgeous. It's blue, but it has an army green base to it. It's kind of toppery, but you can build it up, but it's really pretty as one of those shades where you do a wing situation like this and then just slightly tap the shade around your lid, because if you just do a little, it does have more of a clear base, or at least it kind of matches my skin tone, and it's so stunning. This is one of my favorite palettes from the brand. I just love it so much. But I did want to have two more that I wanted to mention. We have the Rogue and the Druid. Honestly, I say I like the Druid more, but I really don't know, because it's cool toned and there's blues in it and purples and greens. It's just so beautiful. And again, the shimmers, Trickster is gorgeous. I love this whole like theme line that they've done. I can't remember. Someone told me what it was called, but I can't remember what it was called. I have a terrible memory, especially right now, because everything's kind of like chaotic behind the scenes. Ooh, that one too. I always forget how much I love that one. It's got like this beautiful blue base to it, but it's like bright purple. Do you see that? It's so freaking gorgeous. But you guys know I really love those earthy tones as well. That very fall vibe color story, and this one gives me that. I love the mattes that they picked to go with these shimmers as well. They're so beautiful. They have such a smooth shimmer formula. And oops, I probably should have wiped that off. And for me, they don't crease on the lid. I think I've had people tell me that they do, but they tap out really easy for them, so they don't really care. But I haven't had issues with that with them yet. Oh, the shade Transformation is really good. And now I'm doing the last one. The shade Transformation is this one right here, but they're all really beautiful. I just love swatching and just looking at what I have in my collection. It makes me so excited. Even at, what time is it now? 11:11, Make-A-Wish. Okay, we gotta try to get through these palettes because somebody is angry at me because it's past her bedtime. Aren't you, Nala? So if you saw one of my dogs on my thumbnail the other day, it's her baby. And she's like 3 times her size now. I don't know where her body yaddy came from, but it is there. Oh, nah. It's almost Nala's birthday, isn't it? Okay, now let's get back into the palettes. She's like sitting here staring at me so mad. She knows when bedtime is. But the next brand I want to talk about is another brand that I have been so in love with lately, and I cannot wait to see what they release next, but it is Dion Cosmetics. I love their collections. These are 2 of my favorite palettes from them. I mean, you guys already know I love the dewdrops, but my babies are waiting on me, so I have to calm down with adding stuff. But the Warlock of the Woods. I love the other palette that was with this collection as well, but this one is a favorite. It's so beautiful. I love the color story. I love the muted vibes, but the shimmers are so good. This one is such a good face highlight. I mean, I was going to put it on, but it doesn't really go with what I'm wearing. My favorite shimmer in this palette, though, is Hemlock. And this is another brand that has, like, a very high impact shine type of formula. They are so freaking gorgeous. And their eyeshadows aren't, like, really emollient. You know, when you can feel it when eyeshadow formula has like more oils in it. This one is like really soft and silky smooth. That top shade blows my freaking mind, but this whole color story is gorgeous. But I love this brand's overall theme. I love their color stories, and I truly love their formulas. They're one of my favorites as well, but they're not a top favorite yet, only because I haven't tried enough from them. I have tried all of their releases so far. they are. They are a very, very new brand. This is my newest palette from them, and it's not been in my collection very long. I actually just ranked it as well, but it is the Smitten collection. Oh, this whole collection is to die for. But this palette is freaking gorgeous. I do want to do some more looks with it, but so far I really, really love this. This shade has been very popular in today's palettes. It's that like rosy type of shade, but this one I think might be the most reflective one. But this shade is so freaking good. It's so good. Ooh, and I love this one too because it has like this really beautiful like baby blue glitter reflect in it with a gray base. And it's so stunning. I've never seen anything like that one. It's very unique. And then we have Persuasive. And that one is so good too. It has like a really bright like fluorescent shift to it. And I don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but it is stunning. And it looks like it has like holographic glitters in it, but I'm not sure. It could be just where I've swatched so much stuff. And then Catastrophe makes me laugh every time. This one is like a light blue with a really beautiful soft gold like shine to it. And then we have Biscuits, which is so cute. I love the shade names. I love a brand that pays attention to detail. Like the Singe Beauty palette too. I didn't talk about the shade names in the Gourmande Girls palette either, but the Singe Beauty palette, the We Come in Peace, every time I had to put cum on my lid, I laughed so hard. I am such a child, but it was still a moment, and I loved it because I'm a child, like I said, but I'm not the only child out there. I've seen other people laughing about it too. The Peach Perfect shade names are amazing. We have Peaches and Cream, Peach Perfect, Fuzzball, Peachy Keen, Peach for the Stars, Life's a Peach, Peach Please, I'm Peachless, Peach Out, You're a Peach, The Peach Boys, Papa Don't Peach, that one gets me, Georgia Peach, Peach and Quiet, Want a Peach of Me. Like, I love when brands pay attention to those little details. I think it adds so much fun to the palette, and this one definitely does as well. We have Formidable, Right Meow, Whiskers, Toe Beans, which is so cute, Perhaps, and Catnap. I just love this one. I love all of the little details, even the artwork. It's simple, but it's perfect. The font is really the star of the show, and I love that as well. So we have 4 palettes left. Next, I have to talk about this one. So this is Tales of Terra, A Haunting. This is the only piece of that collection that I truly can recommend. The lip products were not my favorite, and neither were the blushes. If you want more details on that though, I suggest checking out my video because I love the looks that I created with this. This palette is beautiful. Honestly, I would love to create something like this myself. The autumn vibes are one of my favorite types of color stories. So are like the cool tones, and I would like to do like something with the twist as well. You guys know that would be so on brand for me, but let's swatch some of these shimmers. I'm gonna get this all over my face. Do you see how shiny? I'm really starting to love Wicked Widow too. I've had my eye on them for quite a while, but it's so hard. There's so many brands, and you know, sometimes it's hard to be able to buy from all of them. Like, that's impossible. You really just can't. So I try to stick to my favorites, but at the same time, I do like to try new things and branch out. I found some of my absolute favorites that way, but sometimes it's hard because there's so many, and I'm not a millionaire, you know. So it's hard to be able to buy everything from everyone. So because of that, I have missed a lot of their launches. But man, their formula and just overall color stories and stuff are so fun and beautiful. That bottom shade, I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but it has like a pink shift to it like that. It's so stunning. Such a fun shade. And I think they're doing an American Horror Story collection, or is it American Psycho? It's something like that. One of those like thriller types of things. Honestly, I would be excited for either one. But let me know if you guys are excited for that one too. And let me know which one it is. I mean, I could go look it up. But my Nana is waiting. So, coming in next is the Glamlite Garfield palette. I do not know why I didn't include this in the first one, because this is one of my favorite color stories in my collection. And not only is it a favorite color story, but this formula is impeccable. It is so freaking good. The shimmers in this palette are so freaking reflective and shiny and beautiful. But as much as I do love the shimmers, my favorite part about it is the color story. I love the gray with the berries, and this palette is actually what made me fall in love with that color combo, because you have it here, and that was my first time ever pairing those two colors together. You can also get like a really gorgeous sunset look out of this. You could do full on neutral with a shimmer across the lid. Like, you could do full glam, easy looks, soft glam. It's such a gorgeous palette, and I love the artwork. I love how it's like outlined in black. I feel like that adds like a really cool touch to it as well. It's such a fun one, but look at those shimmers. They're so pretty. So next, I want to talk about a Cosmic Brushes palette. So all of my other favorite Cosmic Brushes palettes were in the first video. So this time I only have one that I want to talk about. They have had a few releases, like the 'Tis the Season palette and the Sinister palette. And I like those ones, but this one is my favorite. It's the Lovers. I just reviewed this a couple of weeks ago, and I love the color story. It is so beautiful. Now, if you want me to pick between this one or the one from Artitude, I will pick the one from Artitude, but keep in mind, Cosmic Beauty has one of my favorite formulas as well, and I do love this color story. I just like the one from Artitude a little bit more, but these shimmers in here are freaking to die for. This one is such a favorite. This brand is like, I hate to say affordable, because affordable means different things to everyone. What's affordable to me might not be affordable to someone else, so I don't really like saying that. But in the indie community, this one is a lot more affordable than the others, but they still, the quality is still there. Honestly, I would pay Adept prices for this palette. Don't tell anyone. I don't want them to raise the prices, but I really would. Their formula is amazing, and they do come out with some very fun and creative color stories as well, which makes me love them even more. The shade right here, Truth, is so delicious. And it makes pairing these two mattes together so fun. Oh, I love it. And then you could do this in the inner corner and Promise in the inner part of the lid. Like, do you see it? I mean, that is kind of an easy color story to put together, but beautiful nonetheless. And last, I don't know why this one wasn't in the first video. Probably because I was trying to keep the number at 25, but I had to add it in this one. It's the Blend Bunny Longing. This, I don't know, because I just reviewed their new palette, The Beauty Below, and I love that one as well. But I think this one might still be my favorite from them. It's so beautiful. I bet this would be pretty with the Beauty Below palette, though. The shimmers in here are so freaking good, you guys. These two, especially When It Rains and Love Letters. The name of this palette couldn't be more perfect. I get the longing, like rainy, dreary type of vibes with this color story, but it is such an exciting palette. It makes me so happy. I love it so much. I think it's so beautiful, and I love that she was able to turn such a painful loss of one of her parents into such a gorgeous piece of art. And I think, you know, if I had children and one of them did that, I would be so proud. And, you know, there's a piece of them that kind of lives forever, I feel like, because she created something in their name, and I think that is beautiful. She has a palette for each parent. The Makina was for her dad, and this one was for her mother, but these are so beautiful, you guys. They make me so happy. These meaning the shimmers, the mattes too, but I just think this is beautiful. These two shades down here are the absolute best ever. They literally make me so excited. I'm surprised I don't have heart palpitations. I love them, especially this. It's like that cool tone, like steely blue with that yellow over it. It's like mixing warm and cool, which I talked about in this video some, and I just think it's so fun. Such a fun like shimmer formula. They're so shiny and impactful and gorgeous. So I know I've been all over the place in this video, stumbling over my words. Like, it's honestly a process, trying not to do that anyways, but I am a little sleepy. Like I said, last night really sucked when it came to sleep, but I'm excited that I was able to do this video tonight. It was so fun, and swatching eyeshadow palettes makes me so happy that I literally can't help but stumble over my words. I get too excited, but I just love it so much, and I love being able to share it with you guys and showing you guys some of my favorites. Maybe you already have some of these and it reminds you of them and makes you want to pull them out again. That makes me so happy. You have no idea. Just so you know, my videos are never meant to be like a QVC shop type of situation. I just love makeup, and I'm so happy to have people in my life that I get to share that with, that understand my love and obsession for it and excitement. It really does mean a lot to have you guys here, and I appreciate it so much. But if you guys watch this video all the way to the end, please give it a thumbs up. It really does mean a lot. Also, know if you shop some of my links, they are affiliated, and I do make a kickback off of all of my codes, so please keep that in mind. If the links are affiliated, they will be marked with an asterisk, but if you do decide to pick something up from today's video or in any other video, I really do appreciate your support. But if not, just watching this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing or commenting, all of those things support me too, and it really does mean a lot. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I really hope you will, and until next time, bye.